Yo guys, how's it going? Hope you're all well and welcome to another episode on the channel. It's been a few weeks since we last posted. Well, family came to visit first, and then I somehow picked up an illness. I don't even know really how because I've barely been out. So yeah, fun times. But we're coming to the tail end of that now anyway. So hopefully, yeah, we start to feel a little bit better. I'm not feeling 100% still, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But anyways, in this episode, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about the Corsair and its nerf. Now. I don't like to normally put sort of a negative spin on anything in this game, I suppose. We like to find out whether things are actually broken by testing, say, for instance, with the RMC we've done recently. Spoiler alert, seemingly for a lot of people, it still is broken. So we like to go and check these things ourselves rather than just instantly go out there and be like, oh, this is just rubbish, this is negative, this is, Same with the Atlas. We tried to avoid that drama a little bit because I thought it was absolutely awesome. I can see why people were negative about it. I completely understand it, and I do think it is a somewhat overpriced. I do get that, but I try to avoid all that drama with the Atlas. But this Corsair thing has just stood out a little bit to me. It's a bit annoying, to be honest, how they're supposedly nerfing it. It's not the nerf of the Corsair that's annoying. It's probably needed a slight nerf for a while now. It's been quite a powerful ship. But it's the fact that they've let's read this title up here. So the Corsair pilot lost control of two of the main guns, so the co-pilot now has something to do, but I'm pretty sure the co-pilot had the remote turret anyway, so he always had something to do. This was confirmed as intended by CIG since they closed the IC report. So it's now it's hidden for non-evos essentially at the moment, with the post stating as much. The wing guns are now still under the pilot's control. So we get the two wing guns and we get two of the front main ones, right? But then two of the front main ones now are under the control of the co-pilot, but the co-pilot can't gimbal, so he's essentially just firing forwards all the time, which is very silly in my opinion. That might change though, of course. Now, I don't know. For me, it's just really silly how they've done this. Like, if you want to nerf the gun, sure, reduce their size down or reduce the amount of DPS it does overall, whatever. But the fact that they've split these guns up is just really, really silly. Like, why? What possible good explanation is there for this? Let's carry on reading this post a second anyway. So I can imagine that this will be greatly enhance the dogfighting experience. I mean, to be fair, the Corsair moves like a brick anyway, right? So if you're losing to a Corsair, yeah, sure, it has a lot of firepower, but you can outmaneuver it in quite a lot of things, especially in atmosphere, let alone out of it. I mean, out of it, it still pretty moves like a brick, to be fair, but in atmosphere, it's terrible. So the firepower kind of balances that out, in my opinion. I get that people are saying, it's an exploration ship and the Redeemer, it has been nerfed and that's not an exploration, that is a gunship essentially, and that should be more powerful than the Corsair. 100%, I completely agree with that. But they shouldn't. I don't think the way the Corsair operates at the moment is it doesn't maneuver very well, right? So it balances it out with great front's power ability at the front, basically with his guns. Now it's not, like I say, it's not getting nerfed in the sense of any DPS is going down by the sounds of it. It's more a case of it's trying to encourage multi-crew. Now, I have no issue with multi-crew at all, but there are a lot of people out there who, are not comfortable playing with people, especially randoms in the game. I mean, the game's brilliant in the sense of the community where, you get people asking, in the chat, does anyone need a crew member? Does anyone want to crew up? Does anyone want to, join my reclaimer crew? Whatever. You know what I mean? You get a lot of that in the chats, which is good. But not everybody's comfortable with doing that. Not everybody's comfortable playing with people. Not everybody has an abundance of friends, like 10, 20 people that they can all just do multi-crew together. I know the Corsair doesn't need that many people. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit with that. But, people just sometimes want to, finish a day at work or a long day at school, depending on your age range, kick back, relax, and do their favourite thing and do some ERTs and see if they can find a little bit of cargo in there as well, because the Corsair with its cargo space is very, very good for kind of doing the ERTs, taking the cargo on board, selling it and what have you. But it feels like they're kind of discouraging solo play a little bit. Now, I get that the Corsair is a multi-crew ship, and I get that you can have a fighter and do ERTs in that, but games for me, I mean, are meant to be fun, and people want to use the ship they want to use because it works. So the Corsair is a perfect balance, in my opinion, of a ship that works well, in the sense of it has a lot of firepower. It doesn't have like the biggest and best shields, to be fair, either, actually. So where it's balanced, in my opinion, is it doesn't maneuver very well. It doesn't have the best shields, but it has a lot of firepower. So that there is, in a sense, a very good balance for me. You can destroy it quite easily if you're outmaneuvering it, which is, again, quite easy to do, unless you've got a multi-crew where you can, get people on the turrets. But if you're soloing it, it's going to be quite hard to, fight off 2 or 3 people as it is in its current state. So it doesn't really need any kind of nerf to me in that sense. At least in the way they've split it up. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I'm just talking absolute bollocks, to be honest, but I think the ship is absolutely fine in its current state. I think that they don't really need to do anything at all. I know that they're trying to push this multi-crew thing constantly, but not everybody wants to multi-crew with people. Some people just like to kick back, relax, and just play solo, do some bunkers, do a bit of ERTs, do their favourite thing in the game by themselves. And everyone should have the chance of doing that, right? So, yeah, I just don't understand this. I mean, maybe it's, done by marketing. Maybe the marketing team just has way too much say in everything. I don't know, because the way it is at the minute is that this ship's probably going to get nerfed now, as we know, or as the rumours are suggesting. And then what they'll do then is they'll bring out another overpowered by accident ship. People will buy that, then they'll nerf that. And that's how it kind of feels like it is at the moment. And I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but it feels to me like Star Citizen, or CRG are just milking people for money constantly. And of course, they're going to do that. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, they're making an absolute fortune as is. But it seems like everything they're doing is completely against what people want as a whole. I mean, you're never going to please everybody. People are going to be happy with this nerf, other people are not going to be happy with it. There's always going to be people that sit on both sides. But I don't know. I just think that sometimes they just go against people's wishes constantly, and constantly, it's going to hinder them in the long run, surely, unless they just don't care. I don't know. But we're going off on a tangent now anyway, so this is supposed to be more about the Corsair specifically. I don't want to be like, completely having a go at like, what CIG's, way of running a business is, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it works, it works, I suppose. But, I mean, the Atlas worked, didn't it? Let's face it, they sold an absolute ton of them, and I'm one of those people that did buy it, Maybe I'm contributing to it, I don't know. But I just think that, going back to the Corsair, in this current state, the Corsair is fine as it is, in my opinion. Maybe if they were going to nerf it, they'd nerf the size of the guns, and that's about it. But the pilot should have control over every gun, because the co-pilot already has control over the remote turret, I believe. But yeah, anyways, before we go off on even more of a tangent, just let me know in the comments what you think of this nerf, and whether you're for it, whether you're against it. Maybe you're for a nerf, but you're not happy with the way they've done it. Yeah, just let me know in the comments below what you think, guys, because I'm really curious as to what people are going to say about this. I've obviously seen a few. Obviously, if it does get nerfed in the way it does, and it was your go-to ship for ERTs and various other things that you did in the verse, what ship are you going to change to now? Are you going to move to a Connie? Are you going to use something else? Let me know in the comments below what your plans are with that. In regards to what ship you're going to use, basically, in its stead. But yeah, anyways, we're waffling on as usual. And have done throughout this whole video, I think. But yeah, anyways, guys, we'll wrap it up there. I don't know if we really covered everything or anything at all, to be honest with you. I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, anyways, guys, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you in the next episode.